Welcome back to another video on this super unorganized channel. And as you can probably see behind me, I picked up another treat. This is the new addition to the crew, Tatiana. This is my 1997 Lexus LS400 with the 4-liter V8, or widely known as the 1-year ZFE. I bought this car with 175,000 miles for $3,300 and is an absolute gem for its age and somewhat decent mileage. The car was previously rear-ended during the last person's ownership, which caused a bad panel gap between the trunk and the top of the rear quarter panels, but it's not that big of an issue. The rear bumper also has a paint mishap in a few spots where the paint is cracked and continue to flake off over time, which is not a problem because a respray will be done on it once I get around to it. None of this really takes away from the overall condition and stature of this car. With 176,000 miles on it and being 28 years old, yes, it has its minor cosmetic and maintainable issues, but you can't be too hard on it because of its pretty good condition that has been kept in. It's got fading on the front bumper, some blemishing on the turn signals, small rot chips, and fading on the two-tone rockers, but it's still a really good car, especially for what I got it for. One thing you have probably picked up by looking around the car is that this one was optioned with the factory chrome wheels. The 16-inch chrome 10 slots that are on this car were a factory option for the 97 400s, but were only really offered on higher trims or as an optional package for them. Most of the 97 LS400s came with the 16-inch silver or like that machine-finished alloy. Now moving on to probably my favorite part of the car, which is the interior. It has been also taken very well care of. This interior in itself is very comfortable and carries its luxury traits even after its 28 years. The center console up front has no tears or dents or scaling, as I like to call it, when the leather cracks into little spots. Now, especially for the back seats, they're almost perfect. The console back here is in the same condition the front is in, along with the cup holders working smoothly and like new. And the back of the seats and headrests aren't cracked at split, which is a common occurrence in these cars, since the sun comes through the back window and will bake the leather. And a neat little feature this car has is that it was optioned with the rear cigarette lighters that still worked and ashtrays. This car overall is badass. That stemmed from the fact of this being a $55,000 car, brand new in 1997, that was bought by congressmen, any kind of politicians, rappers, businessmen, people of that kind of nature. You know, some old white dude that had nothing else better to do with his money. And also because of the fact I cut off all 4 mufflers because I can't leave shit alone. Because you know, of course, this thing sounds badass. There's a few little maintenance issues I gotta do. I gotta do the valve cover gaskets, oil pan gasket. Gotta do something about the power steering so I don't kill the new alternator. It needs hood struts because the hood won't stand up by its own. It's okay. I got a brush for now, so stand it up. But I mean, besides that stuff, that's not a major problem. This is probably one of the coolest cars I would probably ever own in my life. To dive a little bit more on the interior, because this is where a majority of the cool stuff is at. So if you know anything about Lexuses, that they have seating preferences that you can set and change. This one right here, I think, okay, yeah, this one brought the steering wheel out. You can set it to where you move the seat back and then save it, and then it'll like adjust it. If you press 1 and then you save the other one on 2, you take it and you press it and it would scoot you back. And also a cool another little thing about these is that they also had the adjustable seat belts. So you could go up with it, you could go back down with it. And that is for the passenger side too. Though, I mean, I don't know if they were optioned though with the saving preset for the passenger seat. I'm not that far into it, but, and a neat little feature about these is that this one has a separate compartment from the glove box for the CD player and the CDs. So it's got its own little tray and the insert for the CD players. And one thing my buddy taught me is that all Lexuses, they each have their own independent gauge cluster setups. As for like the GSs, they have their style gauge clusters, and the LSs have their style gauge clusters. They're all a cool little thing. If I get the chance, I'll show you the inside of the GS ones. I like those because they have a see-through fluorescent needle, so you can still see like the tits is going up to the RPMs and miles an hour. And of course, even though you probably can't tell in the video, but around these, Lexuses are known for their green film that helps keep out UV rays, and is also placed on the mirrors. Oh, you can see it a little bit on the mirror right there. You can see the green on the mirror that keeps and reflects UV rays from the of course, like blinding you and hurting your eyes. As for the auto dimming mirror and the back glass, another neat little feature is the hideaway ashtray and cigarette lighter for the front. As for your power and normal switch, and then your 2 area center console. And when I first got the car, this blew my mind, because I mean, if you guys follow me for a bit now, I mean, me having the 4Runner, that was my first and only vehicle I've had for almost 3 years before I wrecked it. That this is like a whole nother ballpark for me. This idea of luxury and comfort, I mean, this blew my mind. That's so cool to me. It's like the simplest thing ever, but it's so cool. And then of course you have your sunroof, like your tilt, and it's still fully functional. It may need to be re-greased because sometimes it'll stick and won't go back. Kind of scary. Okay, I fixed it. I thought it broke for a second. Oh fuck. Lexus and Toyota, there was nobody else moving like them in the 90s and early 2000s. I mean, if you were to go back in time, and if you were to set them same standards and bring them to today's time, and you brought Toyota and Lexus back from where they were to now, and they would be on top of every single award, every single, you know, expectation from your consumers as they were back in the 90s and early 2000s. My bad if the video is kind of jank. I don't have any kind of tripod or setup as per se. So it's just sitting there on the dash. It's probably going to fall over hundreds of times. I'm probably going to be tired of it and then end the video after a few seconds. But the thing rides insanely well. It also has a caster arm boosting problem where I think it's just been worn out over the years, where you hit the brakes lightly around like 60, 70 miles an hour, the front end would go. I'm guessing it's from the caster arm bushing, allowing the front suspension to go up and down from braking. But I mean, you got that, and the handful of my new issues we have, and I'm probably gonna do all the, you know, like the ball joints, upper, lower, all that kind of stuff, just to revamp the front end, because it's probably never been done before. One thing I won't understand is going on TikTok and seeing all these people that'll slam the shit out of these cars. I mean, they'll drop bitches on the frames. And after driving one of these that's been unmolested and completely bone stock, I don't see how they do that. These cars are so comfortable. I don't think there's another modern car that rides or sit as comfortably as this one does. I've been in Mercedes A2000, or A200. That was probably the most uncomfortable car I've ever been in. It's a little hatchback theme. The back seat of that thing was not comfortable, even though Mercedes is put out there as a luxury performance brand. It's not that comfortable. This car makes 260 horsepower at around almost 4,000 pounds, I would say. And there's a reason why I named it Tatiana. This thing low-key busts down. Like, back onto the top to them riding comfortably. Like, these are such a beautiful and elegant car, and how they ride, and the body, of course. But I don't see how people ruin them like that. The plan for this one is, I mean, I'm going to do probably OEM, an OEM Plus Sport, I guess is what you can call it. I'm going to try and keep everything, not like a Lexus and then like a little like LED here and there. I'm going to go out and go a little bit beyond the factory spec. I'm going to do, hopefully I can find a set of chrome 5 spokes off of a GS430s, which are very rare and hard to find. And then whenever you do find them, they want like $400 a piece for them. But we're going to do that, and we're going to do maybe a set of coils, but I'm not going to slam it. I'm going to lower it a little bit more just to get it off of the monster truck ride height this thing has. Because I don't want to ruin the ride quality of this thing. This thing's not going to be turned into some kind of stance car or, you know, obnoxious piece of shit like a lot of them turned into. But I want to keep the same stature that these cars have kept, or I want to keep the same stature that this car had when it came out in '97, with a little bit more revamped kind of taste to it. That's what I was trying to go with my 4Runner. A little bit like, I want to keep the same 90s period Corvette stuff and then mix it in with a little bit of modern things. It drones, so with the all 4 mufflers cut off, as you probably seen, it sounds really good. It drones a little bit around like 2200 RPM, but it's not really that bad. Because I mean, the car right now is just dumped underneath the car, but it's not a problem. Almost a U-turn right here. Oh, there's a cop right there. Right here, or not the median, the red lane. Oh, I'm gonna try that again. This time I'm gonna do it in manual, so. This thing gets up and moves. It's a weird smell after you floor it. I'm guessing it's from maybe the oil burning off the valve covers and the bottom of the pan. It's just mean. That's going to be all for this video. Later on down the road, there's going to be a handful of them on the LS. I'm not going to do too much for the car, like I said in the video, but I'm sure a handful of y'all are wondering, that have been following me, what's going to happen to the 4Runner. And like I said before, I'm going to fix it. I just need to get a new body and get a few other things situated, because, I mean, where it's staying at, it's not my place. I don't own it, and there's a business that's ran out of it, so I got to wait in order to get the body down here, and then I got to get the space and time in order to go over there and use the lifts to change the body on and everything. And the content will pick up a lot from there. In the video where I am trying to swing it around, I'm pretty sure I burnt the pump up in it because it was already leaking when I got the car. And that was another thing that I had to fix on it. And also the trans. I'm going to do the trans fluid on it because it needs to be done. But I'm pretty sure I burnt up the pump because it no longer has power steering at idle. As long as you're in the RPM, it's fine. But so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it off of this motor right here, because I already had to pull the alternator off this one. Take it off of this one and put it on that car. Of course, I'm gonna keep everybody updated on this, but